Today we look at another core skill for our younger age groups, our 6s and our 8s, and that's going to be our dribble. Our dribble can be classified as a transitionary skill between stopping a moving ball and building a first touch in our older age groups. Our key teaching points are incredibly important to observe for this, but we are lucky, having covered what we've covered previously, our key teaching points are fairly straightforward. Adopting a ready position with my hurley hand pushing close to the butt of the hurley and my catching hand sliding down towards the boss. I bend my knees and hips using my catching hand to push the heel of the hurley to the ground. From here, we're looking to build as much close control, keeping the ball as close to the boss as we possibly can to build that light touch and soft catching hand we'll require for our first touch later on, and building that skill, hand-eye coordination in our younger players. It's important to pay real close attention to where my hands are positioned on the hurley. If my catching hand slides all the way up to meet my hurley hand, I won't have as much control over the weight of the hurley down by the boss, and dexterity will suffer, and it will be harder for me to control my ball and keep it close to the boss. If the toe of the hurley is pointed to the ground and I'm using the toe to control the ball, it's pushing my player into a bad habit, as I will use this skill to coach my players to flick the ball out to the side in the game that they will be playing and getting their strike off, and we will get into the habit of striking the ball with the toe of the hurley. Heel of the hurley to the ground, hurley smiling at all times. We must also be aware of, if I push my catching hand too close to the boss, will my players bend the back and knees and hips too much, and it will make it hard for them to advance or move forward, transitioning up the pitch. We must also be aware of the exercise we put our players into and what they do. A figure of 8 exercise as so is incredibly important for building close control and coaching our players to keep the ball as close to the boss as we possibly can. But in this exercise, our players never lift their head and they're focused solely on the ball. It's incredibly important for younger age groups to build that close control, so it's an exercise for them. But we're also looking to find a balance between finding exercises that will allow our players to flick the ball out close enough to them that they can perform the next part of their skill and help them